Hello, dear test takers. Welcome back to my Grammar for Success channel. I am Koresh Babu, a retired lecturer in English from Hyderabad. In today's video, I am going to teach you about the degrees of comparison. All of you know pretty well that this grammatical aspect will be of great help and use to you for all your competitive examinations and also for the improvement of your spoken English skills. I therefore request all of you to watch this video till the end without skipping it in the middle. I also request all of you to consider subscribing to my channel and if possible, please share this video with your near and dear ones. Thank you so much. And now let me get into the video. Degrees of comparison, okay? Degrees of comparison. And all of you must have some idea about the degrees of comparison. And anyway, I'm going to give you a little bit a clear idea about the degrees of comparison. And here, if you want to learn about the degrees of comparison, you have to learn about the adjectives, okay? You have to learn about the adjectives and especially about descriptive adjectives, okay? You have to learn about the descriptive or qualitative adjectives. Of course, they are also adjectives. So, if you want to learn about the degrees of comparison, you must learn first of all about the descriptive adjectives or qualitative adjectives. Then, what are these descriptive and or qualitative adjectives means? All adjectives, these are the words that qualify or describe, what is that? Nouns, okay, that qualify or describe. Any adjective will qualify a noun. Any adjective will describe a noun. Qualify is a technical term, grammatical term, and describe is what is that? A general English term. Okay, that's all the difference between them. So anyway, these adjectives are the words that qualify nouns. In other words, directly you can say noun describing words. What are they called? They are noun describing words. Directly speaking, we can call them noun describing words, right? So here, these noun describing words, let us take some examples in order to understand this concept thoroughly well. Okay, here I would like to give you some examples. What is that? Mohan is a clever boy. Okay, look at this example. Mohan is a clever boy. And what kind of boy? Clever boy. What is this word doing? It is describing this boy. What is this boy? This boy is a noun. Okay, boy is a noun and this word is describing this boy. That's a noun. And therefore, what is this, sir? It is an adjective. Okay, it's an adjective. Suppose if I say Mohan is a boy, am I making any special sense in that? No sense at all. Okay, Mohan is already a boy. I need not tell you about that. But if I say Mohan is a clever boy, I am doing something more. I am giving additional information. So every time what happens, any adjective gives an additional information about the noun. That is the duty of the nouns, adjectives. That is the duty of the adjectives, right? So here, this word clever is describing this noun. This clever is the word, this is qualifying this noun, and therefore it is an adjective. And you go to the next example. Sheila is a tall girl. Okay, and what kind of girl is Sheila? Tall girl. What is this word doing here? It is describing or qualifying this girl. What is this girl? This girl is a noun. And therefore, what is it called, sir? It is an adjective. Okay, and you go to the next example. Mumbai is a big city. What kind of city is Mumbai? It's a big city. So what is city? City is a noun, and this big is describing this city, that is a noun, and therefore it is an adjective. Okay, and one more example I would like to give you here. The Ganges is a holy river. The Ganges is a holy river. What kind of river is the Ganges? It's a holy river. What is this holy doing here? It is describing this river, that is a noun. So, if you have observed these four examples, you understand that these words are describing, the words boy, girl, city, river. These boy, girl, city, river are nouns, and these words clever, tall, big, holy are describing these nouns, nouns, and therefore such noun describing words, okay, clever, tall, big are describing this noun. Such noun describing words are called adjectives, and especially they are called descriptive adjectives or qualitative adjectives. Okay, because other quantitative adjectives are there, and that's why I'm specially saying qualitative adjectives, right? Okay, whether they are descriptive adjectives or qualitative adjectives, they are only adjectives. They always qualify or describe a now that is the basic what is that duty of the adjectives. Okay, and now let's go to the next slide and see the next idea about these adjectives. Okay, so one very important note is here. Each and every descriptive adjective has three forms. They are known as degrees. This is very important. Dear test takers, each and every descriptive adjective has three forms, and those three forms are known as degrees of comparison. Right? What are those forms? Let us see them here. Positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Okay, right. What is the? Let us take some examples here. Clever is there. Clever is a basic adjective, okay, first form of the adjective, and this clever is said to be in the positive degree. All adjectives are said to be in the positive degree only, right? And now if you add er to that, it enters into comparative degree, okay, clever, cleverer. If you add est, that becomes a superlative degree, okay, clever, cleverer, cleverest. Then what is the Telugu meaning? For your convenience, I am giving some Telugu meaning wherever it is necessary. Okay, clever means telivaina. Cleverer means marinta telivaina. Cleverest means atyanta telivaina. So here you have to add in the comparative degree marinta, and here atyanta. So you have to take that Telugu meaning from these words. You can easily understand everything. Now similarly, other words are also there. Tall, podagariyaina. Taller, marinta podagariyaina. Tallest, atyanta podagariyaina. You go to the other words. Strong, balamaina. Stronger, marinta balamaina. Strongest, atyanta balamaina. Similarly, other words are also there. Holy, holier, holiest. So in this way, positive degree adjectives, all adjectives are said to be in the positive degree, but when you add er to them, that they are turned into comparative degree. When you add est to them, they are turned into superlative degree. But one thing you have to remember, what is that? Not always that is the same. Not always that's the same. Is just simply by adding er to the positive degree adjective, it becomes a comparative degree, and est to the positive degree, then it becomes superlative. It is not always the same, and let us see, there are some changes. What are the changes? Let us see them. Okay, formation of degrees, right? Formation of degrees. Okay, here let me talk to you about this. About the kinds of adjectives, okay, from another angle, from general angle, there are two kinds of adjectives. What are they? Small adjectives and big adjectives. It's a general division of adjectives. Of course, there are grammatical division of adjectives is there, okay. There are as many as 7 kinds of adjectives are there. I'm not talking about those 7 kinds of adjectives, but here, generally speaking, there are 2 kinds of adjectives, small adjectives and big adjectives. Then what are the small adjectives? Small adjective means small are those that consist of 1 or 2 syllables, okay, 1 syllable or 2 syllables, okay. So any adjective that has 1 or 2 syllables, then that is said to be a small adjective. For example, what is that? Tall is there. How many syllables are there in that? Only 1 is there. Okay, hot is there. It's only 1 syllable. Okay, and clever is there. Okay, clever is there. Holy is there. 2 syllables. Okay, and in this way, whether it is a 1 syllable word or 2 syllable word, then it is called a small adjective. That point we have to understand, right? And so they follow er and est rule. Okay, if it is a small adjective, it follows the er and est rule. That means to change this small adjective into the comparative adjective, we have to add er. If you want to change it into superlative degree, we have to add to that est. That is the point. Okay, and now here I would like to give you some examples. Long, it's a single 1 syllable word, long. Okay, this is longer. Since it is a small adjective, er, just to add er to this, that becomes a comparative adjective, and if you add est, that becomes a superlative adjective. Okay, long, longer, longest. Okay, you know the meaning, how to take the meaning, I have already told you. You please apply the same meaning to all these words, right? And here you see that cool, cooler, coolest, right? Okay, and weak, weaker, weakest. Once again, I'm reminding you of the meaning of these words. Weak, balahina maina. Weaker, in the comparative, you must say marinta balahina maina. And in the superlative, you have to say atyanta balahina maina. Atyanta means after that there is no other word for that. Okay, that's why superlative. Okay, and similarly one more word, strong, stronger, strongest. So in this way, these are all small adjectives, and therefore they are following these er and est. What is that? Rule. Clear? Now clear. Okay, and here other details of the small adjectives I'm giving you here. Please follow those details. Words means adjectives ending in e, already e. Just take r and st in the superlative degree, because those small adjectives, I'm talking still about the small adjectives. Okay, and already these adjectives will end in e, and then there is no need to add again er and est, just r in the comparative, est in the super. How? Let me tell you that. Large, already it is ending in e, therefore you need not add just again er, simply add er here and est here. That's enough. That's one variety of small adjectives. Okay, and here wise, already ending in e, so here r and est, and like that wide, wider, widest, they're all ending in e. Okay, and here huge is there, huger, hugest is there, and here dense means dattamaina, huge means peddanaina. All these meanings very well. I don't want to go into the meanings of these words. Okay, denser, densest. Okay, then comes what is that? Handsome, handsomer, handsomest. So this is a star marked one. So though it is a small word adjective, so handsome, 2 syllables are there in this. Though it is a small adjective, sometimes it will also come under a big adjective. Then you say, then you can apply that rule also. Okay, what rule the big adjectives follow? Let us see that. Afterwards, there we learn that. Okay, now until then, handsome, handsomer, handsomest is there. And now let's go to the next one. And third variety is there. Words ending in y. Some small adjectives. I am just still talking about the small adjectives. Some adjectives end in y. So whenever they end in y, you must turn this y into I, and then as usual, you have to add er and est to form the comparative and superlative degrees respectively. How? Let me say, heavy is there. This word is a small adjective ending in y, and then when you change it into the comparative, you must turn this y into I, then er. I and est, something like that. Okay, easily you can understand. Mighty is there. It is ending in y, and when you change it to the comparative, change this y into I, then er as usual, and here also I, and then est as usual to change it into superlative, right? And here is the dry, drier, driest. All other things are like that. Lovely, lovelier, loveliest. Okay, and then tasty, tastier, tastiest. So in this way, these are all the words ending in y, and when you change them into comparative and superlative, change y into I, then only you have to add er to make it comparative and est to make it superlative degree. Okay, fourth one is there. Words ending in consonants. Okay, ta, da, ga, ma, na. See these sounds, preceded by a vowel, have these consonants doubled before adding. Have these consonants become doubled before adding er and est in the comparative and superlative respectively. That means when the word ends in ta, da, ga, ma, na, preceded means just before that vowel sound must be there. Then what happens, this last consonant will be doubled when you change it into comparative and superlative. Here, let me say, what is that? Heart is there. So it is ending in T, that's a consonant. And before this, O is there, vowel is there. Okay, heart. Okay, when you change it to comparative, this last consonant will be doubled. And after that only you have to add er and est. Hot, hotter, hottest. Clear? Like that all others are there. Okay, fat, fatter, tt. Last one is getting doubled, becoming doubled, right? And here a sad, D is there, before that vowel is there. Sadder, double, saddest. Okay, and here red is there, redder, reddest. Okay, and here you see this big, G is there, and end of the word G is there. Before that I is there. Ga sound, and bigger, biggest. Okay, and here you see that slim, ma sound is there. Okay, ga, ma, na. Oh, these are okay, and ma, slim. So that becomes slimmer and slimmest. Okay, and then comes one more example here. Thin, it is ending in na. Now, thin, thinner, thinnest. Okay, so in this way, what is that? Consonants ta, da, ga, ma, na. These are the consonants. When preceded by a vowel, these consonants will become doubled before getting added by er and est. Before you add er and est, they get doubled. Now these are the example. Follow these things, and now let's go to the next one. Now I am going to talk to you about the big adjectives. What are the big adjectives? Adjectives having two or more than two syllables are called big adjectives. Okay, and they follow more and most rule. More in the comparative and most in the superlative. Okay, and what are the big adjectives? For example, beautiful is there. Beau1, T2. In this word, beautiful, three sounds are there. These sounds are called syllables. In this word, there are two syllables. Okay, next you see splendid is there. Splendid, two syllables are there. Splendid. Careless, careless. Okay, two syllables are there. Okay, and common is there. Common is there. Handsome is there. Handsome is there. Okay, so here these are two syllables. So two or more are called big adjectives. Words having or adjectives having two or more syllables are called big adjectives. You know, small adjectives means one or two syllables. Words having one or two syllables are called small adjectives. Big adjectives means words or adjectives having two or more syllables. Two is in the small adjectives, two is in the big adjectives means no. Here I want to make it clear. Most of the two syllabled words will come under only big adjectives. Only a few of the two syllable words will come under the small adjectives. Please remember this. Majority of the two syllable adjectives will come under big adjectives only. Only a few adjectives, clever, handsome, common, only a few adjectives will come under small adjectives. Please keep this point in mind. And now let me talk to you about the big adjectives. And these big adjectives, whenever you think it is a big adjective, that adjective follows more and most rule. More in the comparative, most in the superlative. I did not tell you again and again. I'll give you some examples to make you understand that. Okay. What is that? Amazing is there. Amazing. Three syllables are there. Amazing means amazing, very surprising, amazing. More amazing, most amazing. Okay, nothing to add. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Okay, and then come surprising, more surprising, most surprising. Same is the thing. Meaning is the same. For example, what is it? Splendid, more splendid, most splendid. Meaning is also just as you are used to take the meaning earlier. I have told you how to take the meaning. Splendid, adbhutamaina. More splendid, marinta adbhutamaina, and most splendid, atyanta adbhutamaina. So how nice it is. So learning grammar looks very beautiful. Okay, when it is taught carefully and meaningfully and attractively, what happens? It looks very. You can understand the points very clearly. No problem at all. Right, and I'll go to the other words here. Common, more common, most common. Here I have put this star mark because it comes under a small adjective also. Okay, common, commoner, commonest, that is also there. Common, more common, most common. Two rules are applicable to this word. Similarly to this word handsome. Handsome, handsomer, handsomest. Okay, handsome, more handsome, most handsome, that is also. For these two words, first rule is possible and second rule is also possible. Okay, so certain things are there. That's why English is somewhat a tricky language. You must learn it with effort. Okay, right. Now let's go to the next word. Wonderful, more wonderful, most wonderful. Okay, right. And now let's go to the next slide. Irregular adjectives are there. Okay, I have taught you about the small adjectives that take er and est rule. Okay, I have taught you about the big adjectives that follow more and most rule. But here irregular adjectives are there. What are the irregular adjectives? The adjectives that don't follow either er and est rule or more and most rule. They are called, what is that? Irregular adjective. Here I'll give you some examples to make you understand. Good or well. You cannot better and best. That is the form. But you cannot say good, gooder, goodest. No. Good, more good, most good also you cannot say. That means these adjectives don't follow either this rule or that rule. Okay. they are therefore called irregular adjectives, right? And here, let me go to the next. Bad or ill is there. Worse, worst. Okay, you have to learn them by heart, please. Okay, you have to learn them by heart, right? And then comes, what is that? Little, less, least. Okay, little, less, least. And then comes, what is that? Far, farther, farthest. Far, suduramaina. Farther, marinta suduramaina. Farthest, atyanta suduramaina. Saturn is the farthest planet. Saturn is the farthest planet. Atyanta suduramaina grahamu. Something like that. Yes, much or many, more and most. So these are the irregular adjectives. Other adjectives, other sundry adjectives are there. I don't want to give all of them and don't want to confuse you. Okay, solid. These are the important ones. Please follow them. Now let's go to the next one. Dear test takers, so far we have learned about the adjectives. Okay, now the groundwork is over and we are now going to learn the methods. Okay, right. And here is the method 1. Dear test takers, there are 3 methods in degrees of comparison. Method 1, method 2, method 3. In the method 1, what do? We compare only, what is that? 2 persons, okay, or 2 places, okay, and 2 things, okay, that's the. And we compare. That means, in other words, you can say, we compare one person with another person, one thing with another thing, one place with another place. So that is why there does not arise any, you can say, a question of what is that degree, superlative degree. And therefore, when you compare 2 persons, 2 places, 2 things, what happens? There does not arise the question of superlative degree. The idea of superlative degree arises only when we compare more than 2 persons, more than 2 things, and more than 2 places. Until then, there will be no question of superlative degree. That's why in this method 1, you find only 2 degrees, comparative to positive, positive to comparative. Only these 2 things you will find. Okay, and here in this, there are 3 types, type A, type B, type C. Now we are learning about type A. What happens in type A? Let us see that very clearly, very simple. Hari is stronger than Gopi. In this sentence, you are comparing Hari, what is that? Hari with Gopi, right? You are comparing Hari with Gopi. This is the person being compared, and this is the person being compared with. Okay, this is the person we are comparing, and this is the person who is being compared with. Okay, itadu పోల్చుతున్న వ్యక్తి, పోల్చబడుతున్న వ్యక్తి, పోల్చుతున్న వ్యక్తి, పోల్చబడుతున్న వ్యక్తి. Okay, right. And here you see that Hari is stronger than, what is that? Gopi. But then what's the Telugu meaning? How to take the Telugu meaning? You see, Gopi kante, from in the comparative you have to take the meaning from back. Okay, Gopi kante, what is that? Hari marinta balamaina vadu. That's the Telugu meaning. Gopi kante Hari marinta balamaina vadu. Without changing this meaning, you should change this sentence into positive. There is no superlative degree and you have to change it to positive degree. How? Here, see that. How? You bring this person being compared with to the front position. Then you have to use the helping verb. The helping verb should be used as it is. Then this, you have to use not so. So what's it? On your own. OP is not so. Stronger is turned into positive because it's the positive degree. So you have to say strong. Instead of this than, we have to use as. These 2 words are used on your own. Okay, Gopi is not so strong as. This Hari is brought to the back position. Hari. Then what is the meaning of this? You follow this. Follow the comparative meaning. Gopi kante Hari marinta balamaina vadu. Okay, marinta. Right. And Gopi is not so strong as Hari. That means Gopi హరి అంతటి బలమైన వాడు కాదు. హరి చాలా బలమైన వాడు, వానంతటి బలమైన వాడు వీడు కాదు. Again, we are expressing the same meaning here. So if you express this idea either in the comparative or in the positive, that does not make any big difference. Okay, right. Now we go to the next example. Sheila is more intelligent than Geeta. How do you take the meaning? Always in the comparative you have to take Geeta kante. Then come to the Sheila marinta తెలివైనది. Geeta kante Sheila marinta తెలివైనది. Clear? And now let us change it into the positive degree. Then this person being compared with to be brought to the front position. Geeta is helping verb as it is. If it is, was, whatever it is. More, then you have to use not so on your own. Then more intelligent, we should be turned into positive. What is that? Intelligent. Instead of than, we have to use as. And this Sheila will go to the back. Then what is the meaning of this? Then you have to take the meaning of the positive degree sentence from here. Geeta, stop there. Geeta, Sheila antati telivainadi kaadu. ఆమంతటి తెలివైంది కాదంటే మళ్ళీ ఈమె తక్కువ తెలివైంది, ఆమె ఎక్కువ తెలివైంది. Automatically you are conveying the same meaning in this positive degree also, right? And now let's go to the other example. Positive degree, I have given you here positive degree, and now change it into comparative degree. Okay, so India is not so rich as America. What is the meaning of this? India, first in the positive degree, you must take the meaning like this. Please follow this. If you watch this video again and again, that idea will be framed in your mind. That will be recorded in your mind. Okay, and there will be no problem. India, America antati dhanikavantamainadi kaadu. India is not so rich as America means India, America antati dhanikavantamainadi kaadu. Avunu, America చాలా ధనికవంతమైనది, ఇండియా కొంత వెనుకబడింది. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు and now let us change it into comparative. How to change it? And how did you change this comparative into positive? Remember that the reverse method you have to use. Take this America to the front position. America is not so, you use it on your own, so drop them, and this richer becomes what? Rich becomes richer because it is comparative. And instead of, why did we use as instead of than? So we have to use than here. Then India will go back. Whatever the method you have adopted while changing from comparative to positive, the same thing should be reverted. Okay, copper is not so useful as iron. You know the meaning of that. Copper, iron antati upayogakaramayindi kaadu, right? And change it to comparative. What is that? Yes, iron is not so. These are the words you use it on your own. Okay, from your pocket. And then this more useful. What's the comparative of that? Is more useful. Why did you use as instead of than? So put it that. Carefully you have to. If you can do it, if you can practice the sentences like this, after some time you become perfect in that. And you take this copper back. Iron, copper కంటే ఐరన్ మరింత ఉపయోగకరమైంది. So this is the Telugu meaning, and okay, I have used that for your convenience. Okay, please let's go to the next slide. Type B is there. Okay, type B. What is this type B? In the type B also we compare one person with another person, one thing with another thing, one place with another place. That is always there in the method 1. This is method 1, type B. So here we are comparing. Kolkata is not bigger than Mumbai. Same, we are comparing Kolkata with Mumbai, right? But here, what is the difference in the type B? Before the comparative adjective, you are using not. In the type A, before the comparative adjective, not is not used. In the type B, before the comparative adjective, not is used. So you must remember, not using not before the comparative adjective, that's type A. Using not before comparative adjective is type B. So something like that. You must keep some idea in that. Okay, Kolkata is not bigger than Mumbai. Mumbai kante Kolkata marinta peddadi kaadu. Marinta peddadi kaadu means what? Marinta peddadi kaadu means దానికంటే మరింత అయితే కాదు అంటే రెండు సమానమే. Both are the same. Now let us change it into positive degree. Then bring it to the front position. Mumbai is, instead of not we use as. Bigger is turned into positive big. Instead of than, as. Kolkata will go back. Simple. As. Whenever we use as, this pattern is used, as plus as pattern is used whenever two things or two places or two persons are the same, on the same level. Okay, as rich as you are, I am as rich as you are. I'm as strong as you are. Okay, I'm as tall as you are. As pattern is a beautiful one. So as big as. Even two things are. Mumbai is as big as Kolkata means Mumbai, Kolkata anta peddadi. Ante rendu samaname. Something. So this is very easy. And now one more. Kashmir is not more beautiful than Switzerland. స్విట్జర్లాండ్ కంటే కాశ్మీర్ మరింత అందమైనది కాదు. మరింత కాదు అంటే రెండు సమానమే. సో హియర్ వాట్ ఈస్ దట్? లెట్ us change it to positive degree. So bring it to the front position. Switzerland is, instead of this not as, more beautiful is turned into beautiful, because we are turning it into positive. Positive means positive adjective must be used. Instead of than, we have to use as, and this Kashmir will go to the back part of the sentence. Kashmir. So Switzerland is as beautiful as Kashmir. Switzerland, Kashmir anta andamainadi, rendu andamainave. And now positive. America is as advanced scientifically as China. That means as America, China antati scientifical ga advance abhiruddhi chendinadi, rendu samaname. And here comparative, then you must take this China is, why did you use this as instead of not? Instead of not, we have used it as. Go back, position, the method should be reverted. Then we, instead of as, what should we use? Not. Advanced, more advanced. Because we are turning this advanced is an adjective, it's a positive degree adjective. Now turn it into comparative. More advanced scientifically, instead of as than. What should we use? America. Method should be. Okay. China is not more scientific advanced. China is not more advanced scientifically than America. China, America కంటే మరింత శాస్త్రీయంగా అభివృద్ధి చెందినది కాదు. మరింత కాదు అంటే రెండు సమానమే. ఓకే, సాల్వ్ పాజిటివ్ డిగ్రీ. Bangladesh is as backward as Nepal. Okay, and you see that, what is that? Nepal is not backward, is positive degree adjective. Change it to comparative, more backward. As instead of as than. This Bangladesh. Simple. Right. Now let's go to the type C. So type C is there. What is this type C? In this type C also we compare one person with another person, one thing with another thing, and one place with another place. This is there. Please try to understand this. What is that? Comparative. China is not less populous than India. What is used before this comparative adjective? Less is used, not less. This is type C. So you must have some signs you must create on your own. Okay, not less method means type C. Populous means janasandrata kala. Okay, here China is not less populous than India. India kante China తక్కువ జనసాంద్రత గలది కాదు. లెస్ పాపులస్ మీన్స్ తక్కువ జనసాంద్రత గలది కాదు. అంటే రెండు సమానమే మళ్ళీ కూడాను కదా. ఇండియా కంటే చైనా తక్కువ జనసాంద్రత గలది కాదు. తక్కువ కాదు అంటే రెండు ఎక్కువ సమానంగానే ఉన్నాయి. తక్కువ అయితే కాదు అంటే రెండు సమానం. Right. And now let us see that. And when this kind of sentence is given, how to change it into positive degree without changing its meaning. Okay, how? Here you see that. Okay, China is, what is that? Yes, at least. At least means it means almost. That's the meaning. Please, I am writing this almost. China is at least. Okay, let me not write this. Okay, I just give. At least you have to, instead of not less, we have to use at least. At least means almost, inchu, dadapuga, as populous, LOUS, populous, instead of than as. See, as popular, as pattern is used when both are the same, on the same level. So here, China is at least as populous as India. See how I am changing this comparative sentence into positive. Please watch it. Observation is more important in learning grammar. Okay, say China is at least as populous as India means China dadapu, at least means dadapu, India antate janasandrata galiginatuvantidi. That's the Telugu meaning, right? And then now let's go to the next example. Silver is not less useful than iron. Iron kante silver takwa upayogakaramayindi kaadu. ఐరన్ కంటే సిల్వర్ తక్కువ ఉపయోగకరమైనది కాదు. తక్కువైతే కాదంటే రెండు సమానమే దాదాపు. ఓకే, దాదాపు సమానం. సో హియర్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు సే సేమ్. In this kind of sentences, we have to use the words as they are. Okay, silver is, instead of not less, we have to use at least, useful, as useful as, instead of than, as iron. Silver దాదాపు ఐరన్ అంతటి ఉపయోగకరమైనదే. And positive degree. The Krishna is at least as long as the Godavari. Krishna దాదాపు గోదావరి అంతటి పొడవైనది. And same one, comparative. The Krishna is at least. Why did we use at least instead of not less? Also the same thing we have to use. Just go follow the reversion method, reverted method. Okay, reverse method only you have to use. Not less long, as must be dropped, as must be not less long. What is that? Instead of than, what is that? The Godavari. Krishna is not less long than Godavari. Godavari kante Krishna empty తక్కువ పొడగరి అయినది కాదు. తక్కువ కాదు అంటే దాదాపు. One more example is given. Positive. Virat Kohli is at least as good a cricketer as Dhoni. So విరాట్ కోహ్లీ దాదాపు ధోని అంతటి మంచి క్రికెటర్. ఓకే, తెలుగు మీనింగ్. అండ్ హియర్ కంపారిటివ్ డిగ్రీ is there. What is that? So same, విరాట్ కోహ్లీ is at least is turned into not less, as is dropped, and good instead of good, yes, we have to use good only, and then as, than, not less than, this one is there, here than is there, and between this as and as, whatever the words are there, that we have to write. A cricketer than Dhoni. Virat Kohli is not less good a cricketer than Dhoni. విరాట్ కోహ్లీ ధోని కంటే తక్కువ మంచి క్రికెటర్ అయిన వాడు కాదు. తక్కువ మంచి క్రికెటర్ కాదు అంటే ఇద్దరు మంచి వాళ్ళే, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ టైప్ C, sir. And now we are going to the exercise, and you do the exercise please, and at home you watch this video again and again to get command of this subject. You have to watch it again and again. Okay, right. Okay, and here you just solve this exercise at home. You do it, take a piece of paper and try to solve it. That's why you watch method 1 again and again. Under method 1 there are 3 types: type A, type B, type C. Very, very important from all your competitive examinations point of view, right? And after that you do all these exercise. Okay, you solve all of them, and if the positive degree is given, you have to change it to comparative. If the comparative is given, change it to positive, like that. Okay, now let's go to the second very important method. What is this? Method 2 is there, and in this method what happens, we compare what is that one person with so many persons, and one thing with so many things, and one place with so many places. So that is what we do, and that's why there arises the what is that idea of superlative degree, because we are comparing one with many. One person with many persons, one place with many places, one thing with many things, and that's why here arises what is that the superlative, the idea of superlative degree, and let's learn that. Okay, and here superlative degree is there. Okay, there are 2 varieties, just varieties I am showing. Okay, please follow them. Watch this slide again and again so that you can have a good command of this second method also. Nidhir is the tallest boy in the class. Okay, this is direct. Nidhir is the tallest boy in the class. తరగతిలో నిధీర్ అత్యంత పొడగరి అయిన అబ్బాయి. క్లాస్లో వాడు టాలెస్ట్ బాయ్. దట్స్ ఇట్, డైరెక్ట్. అండ్ అనదర్ స్టైల్ ఈస్ దేర్. నిధీర్ ఈస్ ద టాలెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద బాయ్స్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్. నిధీర్ తరగతిలోని పిల్లలందరిలో కెల్లా ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ద బాయ్స్. యు ఆర్ టేకింగ్ ఆల్ ద బాయ్స్ టుగెదర్ అండ్ సేయింగ్ దిస్ నిధీర్ ఈస్ ద టాలెస్ట్ బాయ్. డైరెక్ట్గా ఎలా చెప్పడం? డైరెక్ట్ ఇలా, ఇండైరెక్ట్, కొద్దిగా ఇండైరెక్ట్గా. తరగతిలోని పిల్లలందరిలో కెల్లా నిధీర్ అత్యంత పొడగరి అయిన వాడు. సో దిస్ ఇస్ వన్ స్టైల్, దిస్ ఇస్ అనదర్ స్టైల్. ఈ స్టైల్లో ఇస్తే కంపారిటివ్ ఎలా మార్చాలి, ఈ స్టైల్ ఇస్తే ఎలా మార్చాలి. లెట్ us see those two things very clearly, please. You just in this slide only I'm using Telugu for your convenience. Comparative is there, okay, and compare. Nidir is, now I'm turning this into this one, okay. Nidir is the tallest. You know very well, before a superlative adjective we must use the always, and before this comparative adjective we need not use, not necessary, that is there. That's why we have dropped it here. Nidir is taller, okay. The is dropped, tallest is turned into taller, and immediately after writing the comparative adjective we must use than any other. This is very important. Nidir is taller. After writing the comparative adjective, these three words you have to write. Than any other. After writing these three words, you write the remaining sentence. What is the remaining sentence? Boy in the class. Very simple. Nidir is taller than any other boy in the class. That means తరగతిలోని ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయి కంటే, వీడికంటే ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయి కంటే నిధీర్ మరింత పొడగరి అయినవాడు. అంటే మళ్ళీ వీడే పొడుగైనవాడు, మిగతా అందరు కాదు. ద సేమ్ మీనింగ్ ఇస్ కంటిన్యూయింగ్, రైట్. ఒకవేళ ఇఫ్ ఎట్ ఆల్ ద సెంటెన్స్ ఈస్ గివెన్ ఇన్ దిస్ స్టైల్, దెన్ దిస్ ఈస్ దేర్. వాట్ ఈస్ దాట్? బి, నిధీర్ ఈస్, okay, the tallest is turned into taller. After writing this, than all other you have to, if at all in this direct style, than any other, in this slightly different style, than all other. See the difference. Than all other. After that, this is, what is there in the boys in the class? That's the remaining part of the sentence that you are writing as it is. What is the meaning? Nidhir తరగతిలోని ఇతర అందరు అబ్బాయిల కంటే, okay. And here, this Nidir is taller than all other boys in the class. The Telugu meaning of this is, what is that? Nidir, తరగతిలోని ఇతర అందరు అబ్బాయిల కంటే మరింత పొడగరి అయినవాడు. ఇతర అందరు అబ్బాయిలు. Here, ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయి కంటే, singular, this is plural. That's only the difference. Okay, right. And here, now let's go to the positive degree. And what is that? If at all this kind of sentence is given, you have to turn it into comparative in this way. And in the positive degree, you have to say, no other. No other is important. After this, the remaining sentence. What is the remaining sentence? Boy in the class. That you have to write. After that, helping verb. If it is, you have to say was is. And then you keep this adjective, positive adjective. What is the taller, positive adjective of taller? Tall. This is the positive adjective. This should be put in the between as and as. As tall as. Okay. Nidhir is gone. So no other boy in the class. క్లాసులోని ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయి కూడా, తెలుగు మీనింగ్ యూ సీ దట్, క్లాసులోని ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయి కూడా నిధీర్ అంతటి పొడగరి అయిన వాడు కాదు. వానంత పొడగైనవాడు కాదంటే మిగతా వాళ్ళందరూ పొట్టిగానే ఉన్నారు, వీడు ఒక్కడే పొడవైనవాడు. దట్స్ ఓన్లీ ద మీనింగ్. సో ఇన్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ వీఆర్ ఎక్స్ప్రెసింగ్ ద సేమ్ ఐడియా, సేమ్ మీనింగ్. ఓకే. అండ్ సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ద సెంటెన్స్ ఈస్ గివెన్ ఇన్ దిస్ స్టైల్, దెన్ వాట్ షుడ్ బి ద పాజిటివ్ డిగ్రీ? లెట్ us see that. Okay. If it is given in this way, comparative is in this way, and positive is in this way. So no other, you write this no other, and plural one is there, that remaining sentence you have to write here, and afterwards or. This is singular, boy in the class is singular, boys in the class are plural. So after that, here tall, okay, you can use as or so as also you can use. As you can say, so as, of course. So this positive adjective, superlative, comparative, positive. So positive adjective should be put between, what is that, as and as, or so and as. Okay. And the meaning is the same. What is that? క్లాసులోని ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయిలు కూడా నిధీర్ అంతటి పొడగరి అయిన వాళ్ళు కాదు. ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయి కూడా, ఏ ఇతర అబ్బాయిలు కూడా. Boy in the class, boys. Only that plural. This is singular, this is plural. Only this difference you can find. Please watch this again and again so that you can have a very good idea about that, please. Okay, I think I'm not confusing you. Right. Some exercise is given here. You have to solve it. But one I'll solve for you. And Everest is the highest peak in the world. This is given in the superlative degree. How to change it into comparative degree? Okay, Everest. It is direct. Therefore, Everest is, the highest is turned into higher. Okay, comparative. Yes, immediately after that you have to than any other. Okay, than any other. After the remaining one, pick in the. So Everest is higher than any other. These three words you have than any other. Okay, these three words you have to use newly, and then the remaining part should be written here, right? And Everest is higher than. The meaning you know very well. I need not tell you the meaning again and again. And positive degree, that always begins with no other. All of you know very well. What is the remaining sentence of the remaining part of the sentence? Peak in the world. Peak in the world. So that is only you have to write. Peak in the world. Okay. Okay. Now what is the helping verb used here? Is. The same you have to use here. Then use as high, positive word, as high. So superlative adjective, comparative adjective, positive adjective. This positive adjective should always be put between as and as, or so and as. And next, this Everest should be taken to the back position. Everest. So the meaning you know very well. And now number 2 is also there. Iron is more useful than any other metal. So here iron, this is given in the comparative degree, and you have to change it into next, what is that, superlative degree, then into positive. So let us see, iron is more useful than any other metal. Okay, and we are going to superlative. Iron is more useful, should be turned into most useful, but before the superlative you have to use most, the. So you have to say the most useful, then should be dropped. Okay, what is that? Any, than any other, these things should be dropped. So iron is the most useful. What is the remaining part of the sentence? Metal. That must be written here. This you can do that. And no other countries in Asia are as backward as Nepal. Please do it. This is for you. Please do it yourself. And now let me go to the next one. So dear test takers, this is the exercise for you. Please solve it at home. Okay. That's why grammar means exercise. The more exercise you do, the more experience you get. The more acquaintance or familiarity with the grammar you get. Okay, and then there will be no fear of grammar and everything in your mind. Okay, right. And now let's go to the next one. And method 2 negative is there. Method 2 negative is there. I'll just simply give you some idea, because you know I want to teach you everything comprehensively, and that's why I'm mentioning this method 2 negative. What is the negative one here? Simple. Neither is not. Negative means not. Everything is the same, but negative is there. Neither is not the tallest of all the boys in the class. Same one, already I have given this statement, but here I am using only not here, negative. When the negative word is used, the meaning will also be different. How? Neither is not the tallest of all the boys in the class. Neither targatiloni pillalandarillo kella atyanta podagari aina vaadu kaadu. ఇంతకుముందు ఆల్రెడీ వీ హ్యావ్ లర్న్ అత్యంత పొడగరి అయిన వాడు, దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ లర్న్. ఇప్పుడు పొడగైన వాడు కాదు. కాదు మీన్స్ దెన్ ఆటోమేటికలీ ఇస్ ఫాల్స్. నీదర్ ఈస్ నాట్ టాలర్, నాట్ ద టాలెస్ట్ బికమ్స్ నాట్ టాలర్ దాన్ సమ్ అదర్ బాయ్స్. These three things you have to use. In that method you use than any other, or than, what is that, all other. But here when the sentence is in the negative, what is that, you have to use, when you change it into comparative, you have to use than some other. Afterwards, boys in the class, boys in the class. What is the meaning of this? తరగతిలోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిల కంటే నిధిర్ మరింత పొడగరి అయిన వాడు కాదు. ఎవరికంటే కాదు. Right. And here the same thing can be expressed in this way. Some other boys in the class are perhaps taller than నిధిర్. క్లాసులోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిలు perhaps బహుశా నిధిర్ కంటే పొడగరి అయిన వారు. కొంతమంది ఉంటారు వీనికంటే పొడగరి అయిన వారు. Right. And here now let's go to the positive degree. Some other boys in the class, classలోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిలు, or at least as tall as నిధిర్. కొద్ది మంది ఈ నిధిర్ అంతటి పొడగరి అయిన వారు, positive degree. Okay, and this sentence can be expressed in this way also. Nidir is perhaps not as tall as some other boys in the class. Nidir క్లాస్లోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిలంతటి పొడవరి అయిన వాడు బహుశా కాదు. Perhaps not. నిధిర్ క్లాసులోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిలంతటి పొడగరి అయిన వాడు కాదు, బహుశా కాదు. Perhaps not. So in this way, when negative statement is given, how to change that negative statement into the comparative degree and positive degree, you have learned here. And now let us go to the last method. Superlative degree is given. The Willis Tower is not the tallest of all the buildings in the world. Okay, yes. Comparative degree, positive degree. And here, what is that, the Alps are not more ancient than some other ranges in the world. One more example I have given you. You have to change this sentence into superlative degree and positive degree. And one more is there, some other rivers in India are at least as holy as Godavari. So you have to change this positive degree into superlative degree, and then what is that, comparative. So these three sentences are meant for your homework. Okay, you have to do homework. Don't let me spoon feed you, because if I keep on teaching you everything, what are you there to do? So you must do it on your own. You must learn to do. Okay, right. Method 3 is there. In this also, we compare one person with many persons, one thing with many things, and one place with many places. Right. And what is the superlative degree? Mumbai is one of the biggest cities in India. Mumbai, Indialoni biggest అత్యంత పెద్ద నగరాలలో ముంబై ఒకటి. One of the method 3. Before the superlative adjective, one of the is used. This is a special feature of this method. So you keep this in mind, and then whenever you find this one of the before the superlative adjective, you must think it is the method 3. From back, Indialoని అత్యంత పెద్ద నగరాలలో ముంబై ఒకటి. That's the Telugu meaning of that. And now let us change it into comparative degree. Mumbai is bigger than. One of the is dropped, please, here in the comparative degree. Biggest is turned into bigger comparative degree. And immediately after that, we have said, than most other, you have to write. Okay, you can also write than many other. Please, than most other or than many other. Any one of them you can. Than most other. After that, the remaining part of the sentence, what is that? Cities in India. The same thing should be written there. Telugu meaning, Indialoni చాలా ఇతర నగరాల కంటే ముంబై మరింత పెద్దనైనది. That's the Telugu meaning. Okay, right. Very few cities in India are as big as Mumbai. So here in this positive degree, now we begin the sentence with very few. In the second method, no other. In the third method, very few. After that, remaining part of the sentence, very few cities in India are as big as. Always, the positive degree adjective is placed between, what is that, as. Okay, very few cities in India means కొద్ది ఇండియాలోని కొద్ది నగరాలు మాత్రమే. వెరీ ఫ్యూ సిటీస్ మీన్స్ కొద్ది నగరాలు మాత్రమే ముంబై అంతటి పెద్దవి. అవును, కోల్కతా దీనంత పెద్దది, చెన్నై దీనంత పెద్దది, ఢిల్లీ దీనంత పెద్దది కదా. సో హియర్ దేశం ఇండియాలోని అత్యంత పెద్ద నగరాలు ఇది ఒకటి. అవును, కోల్కతా, చెన్నై, ఢిల్లీ దేర్ ఆర్ దేర్, అందులో ఇది ఒకటి. రైట్. సో చాలా ఇతర నగరాల కంటే ఇది పెద్దది. అంటే ఢిల్లీ కంటే, ఇతర నగరాలు హైదరాబాద్ కంటే పెద్దది, బెంగళూరు కంటే పెద్దది, ఝాన్సీ కంటే, ఇటార్సీ కంటే, లక్నో కంటే, వాటన్నిటికంటే పెద్దది. కరెక్ట్. మళ్ళీ బొంబాయి పెద్దది అంటున్నాం ఇక్కడ. ఇదిగో కొద్ది నగరాలు మాత్రమే బొంబాయి అంత పెద్దవి. అంటే కోల్కతా దానంత పెద్దది, చెన్నై దానంత పెద్దది, సంథింగ్. సో వీఆర్ నాట్ చేంజింగ్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద సెంటెన్స్ ఎనీవేర్. We are, so in any one of them, if you express the meaning, that is right. Okay, and now let's go to the next example. America is one of the richest countries in the world. Okay, and here, what is that? Comparative degree. Let us turn it, for your convenience, I turn it for you. America is one of these dropped. Okay, richest is turned into richer. Okay, and then after writing the comparative, you have to say than most other. You can also use than many other. Okay, than many other. Remaining part of sentence, countries. Okay, countries in the world. That is the sentence. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this superlative adjective, superlative degree? From the back, you have to take the meaning. ప్రపంచములోని అత్యంత ధనికవంతమైన దేశాలలో అమెరికా ఒకటి. So comparative meaning is, what is that? ప్రపంచములోని చాలా ఇతర దేశాల కంటే అమెరికా మరింత ధనికవంతమైనది. అవును, ఇండియా కంటే ధనికవంతమైంది, ఇంగ్లాండ్ కంటే ధనికవంతమైంది, ఫ్రాన్స్ కంటే ధనికవంత, చాలా ఇతర దేశాల కంటే. రైట్. అండ్ హియర్ నౌ లెట్స్ write that positive degree. What is that? Very few. After writing this very few, the remaining part of the sentence must be written. What is the remaining part of the sentence? Countries in the world. That we have to write here. Okay, what is that? Are. So you have to keep this adjective in the between as. So what is the adjective used here? Richest, richer, and rich. Okay, and America will go to the back part of the sentence. So very few countries in the world. ప్రపంచంలోని కొద్ది దేశాలు మాత్రమే అమెరికా అంత ధనికవంతమైనవి. So some examples are given here. You have to follow them. You have to solve them. The rose is more beautiful than most other flowers. Okay, you have to change this comparative degree into superlative degree, then positive degree. Okay, and then another example is given. Very few rivers in India are as perennial as the Ganges. Okay, this is given in the positive degree. You have to change it into superlative degree and comparative degree. So these two things are meant for your homework. Please change them into other degrees. So apart from those two things, overall exercise is also given here. So here are given 12 sentences. You can say if a sentence is in the positive degree, change it into superlative and comparative. If it is in the superlative degree, change it into other 2 degrees. If it is the comparative degree, change it into other 2 degrees. Like that, you keep on changing, and so that you can have a wonderful experience, wonderful practice, and you can have a good command of degrees of comparison. Method 3, negative. Negative means if there is no or not in the given sentence, then that sentence is called a negative sentence, right? This is method 3, negative. How? Let us see that. Okay. Hyderabad, this is the superlative degree sentence. Hyderabad is not one of the biggest cities in India. Earlier we have learnt the superlative degree without this not. Okay. But now we are learning it with not. Without not, with not. So here, what is the meaning of this statement? Hyderabad is not one of the biggest cities in India. Indialoni atyanta pedda nagaraలలో Hyderabad ఒకటి కాదు. That is the Telugu meaning of this, right? There are so many biggest cities in India, and this Hyderabad is not one among them. That is the meaning of the sentence. Now let us change the same sentence into comparative degree without changing its meaning. How can we do that? Here you pay attention. Hyderabad is less big than some other cities in India. So here, what is this? Not one of the. These 4 things are dropped, and now we are using, instead of all these things, we are using less. Less is the comparative form of little. Okay, little is positive degree adjective, less is comparative degree adjective, least is the superlative degree adjective. So we are using this comparative adjective here. Since we are using this comparative adjective here, again we cannot use another comparative adjective here, because 2 comparative adjectives cannot go together. It is a grammatical error. That's why when one of them is in the comparative degree, the other one must be in the positive degree. Okay, so there is a rule: 2 comparative degree adjectives, 2 superlative degree adjectives should not go together. If at all they go together, that is a grammatical error or a mistake, right? And here less is a comparative adjective, big is a positive adjective, then less big is there. And here biggest is turned into big, therefore big, and this is compared less big. And after big, after this adjective, what should we use? Than some other. These 3 words you have to use. In the earlier method 3, positive method 3, we have used than most other or than many other. That was the thing we used in the method 3. But in the negative method, we are using than some other. Okay, this remaining sentence is written as it is, right? And here, okay. And now what is the meaning of this? Indialoni, what is that? Itara konni nagarala kante. From the back, we have to take the meaning. Indialoni ఇతర కొన్ని నగరాల కంటే హైదరాబాద్ తక్కువ పెద్దనైనది. ఇతర నగరాల కంటే తక్కువ పెద్దనైంది. Yes, it is less big than Kolkata. It is less big than Delhi. It is less big than Chennai. Something like that. Okay, and that is there. Though anyway, we are saying that Hyderabad is not a big city. That is what we are trying to convey through these sentences. And now, what is that? Another style is also there. The same sentence can be recast as this, like this. What is that? How some cities in India are bigger than Hyderabad. That means some cities in India, Indialoni koddi nagaralu, what are bigger than Hyderabad. Hyderabad kante peddanainavi. Avunu, there are so many cities in India that are bigger than Hyderabad. Okay, Bangalore is there, it is bigger than Hyderabad. Mumbai is there, it is bigger than Hyderabad. Kolkata is there, bigger than Hyderabad. Chennai is bigger. So something like that. So here we are not, what is that, saying that Hyderabad is a big city. In this we are saying that Hyderabad is not a big city. In all these statements, we are saying that Hyderabad is not a big city, right? And let us see the meaning. Let us change the same sentence into the positive degree. How is the positive degree? Hyderabad is not so big as, okay, Hyderabad is not, we are using not so big as. So here this positive adjective is placed in between so and as, that is always there, and we are using not here. Some other cities in India, okay, that is there, okay. This is the positive degree. Then what is the meaning of this? When you take the meaning of positive degree sentence, we have to take it from the beginning. How? Hyderabad, take a gap there, take some pause. Hyderabad ఇండియాలోని ఇతర కొన్ని నగరాలంతటి పెద్దనైనది కాదు. హైదరాబాద్ ఇండియాలోని ఇతర పెద్ద నగరాలంతటి, సో బిగ్ యాజ్, అంతటి పెద్దది కాదు. దట్ ఈస్ దట్. అవును, ఇతర నగరాలంతటి పెద్దది కాదు. బొంబాయి అంతటి పెద్దది కాదు. కోల్కతా అంత పెద్దది కాదు. Delhi anta peddadi kaadu, Chennai anta peddadi kaadu. Is something like that. So in all these statements, we are expressing only one idea, that Hyderabad is not a big city. That's right. And here, what is that? Let us take up one more example, and with this I'll close this. Rakesh is not one of the strongest boys in the class. So it is not one of the method. That means method 3 negative. So not one of that. That means Rakesh is not, means we have to take the meaning of this superlative degree from the back of the sentence. How? Okay, class loni atyanta balavantulaina abbayilalo Rakesh ఒకడు కాదు. Class loni atyanta balamaina pillallo Rakesh ఒకడు కాదు. Right. And let us change it into comparative degree. Rakesh is less strong than some other boys in the class. Already you know very well, instead of not one of the instead of all these 4, we have to use less. And the strongest should be turned into strong, because already less is a comparative adjective, and therefore here a positive degree adjective must be used. Therefore it is always less strong. Less strong. Okay, right. You know this very well. Already I have explained it here. And Rakesh is less strong. After strong, what should we do? Than some other. Okay. Afterwards, remaining sentence, boys in the class. Now, what is the meaning of this statement? We have to take the meaning from the back of the sentence. How? Yes, తరగతిలోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిల కంటే, తరగతిలోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిల కంటే రాకేష్ తక్కువ బలమైన వాడు. ఈజ్ లెస్ స్ట్రాంగ్. తరగతిలోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిల కంటే రాకేష్ తక్కువ బలమైన వాడు. దట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్. And here you go to the what is that other style of this same sentence. Some boys in the class are so stronger than Rakesh. తరగతిలోని కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిలు రాకేష్ కంటే బలమైన వారు. That is that. Same. It conveys the same meaning. You can just watch it, keeping it so near. And next, let's go to the positive degree sentence. Rakesh is not so strong as some other boys of the class. Okay, already you know very well. Rakesh is not so strong as, so and as, this. And in between so and as, we have to use the positive degree adjective, right? Not so strong as. This is very important in the positive degree sentence. Okay, Rakesh is not so strong as some other boys in the class. That what is the meaning of this sentence? Rakesh తరగతిలోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిల అంతటి, when so strong as, when is that? Antati. That is the term. Rakesh తరగతిలోని ఇతర కొద్ది మంది అబ్బాయిలంతటి బలమైన వాడు కాదు. అంటే again we are saying that Rakesh is not a strong boy. In all these statements now we are saying that Rakesh is not a strong boy. Okay, so here are given some sentences for your homework, and you have to, this is given in the superlative degree, change it to comparative and positive. And again, what is that? The Godavari is not one of the longest rivers. Sorry, this should be plural, longest rivers in India. And Ooty is less cool than some other places in South India. You have to change this into superlative degree, then into positive degree. One more example is given. Sri Lanka is not so rich as some other countries in Asia. Change this positive degree into superlative degree, and what is that? Comparative degree. Okay, and this is meant for your exercise or homework. Please do it at home. Dear test takers, thank you so much for watching this video, and some exercises are also given. Please watch this video again and again so that you can have a very good command of this topic, grammatical aspect. And please do the exercise or do the homework, and watch this again and again. Thank you so much for watching this one, and another beautiful video on on voice. I'll be back to you. Until then, see you. Right.